Politics, sports, your mama, whatever. The Smartest Dumb People podcast cover everything. With Anthony That Dude Johnson and special guests, you're about to learn everything you need to know about everything you need to know. Man, I even had to buy a new pair of glasses after watching the show. So yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure y'all join on Facebook, Instagram. It ain't gonna cost you nothing. So stop wasting your time watching other podcasts. It's the only one you need.
Yo, what's up? At the hottest podcast in the city, the smartest dumb people. I'm here with my nigga, That Dude Johnson. You know what I'm saying? We go way back like 4 flats on a Cadillac. Y'all tune in every week or every time. Hit the like button, subscribe, do what you're supposed to do. Like, comment, share, tell your people about it. Y'all know what it is. It's the smartest dumb people.
See, man, when you get that type of money, he literally single with other people. So, like, this is a story. Should be
the best podcast in the city.
Thank you.
Oh, no,
You know what I'm saying? And they take vocals and, script and
that sounds really nice.
You're a real hustler, huh? That's pretty neat. Into it.
But I also met
Team, they know she likes to go outside, play soccer by herself. We have make sure like Snoop Dogg, he's an icon in all facets of life.
In the world.
But
I feel like they cheat stupid. They gonna get caught. Yeah, they cheat with their dick like we cheat with our mind. I feel like women.
no more. But before I let you explain that, I want to show a little clip of a little monster.
I'm on Pandora, YouTube. I'm on
The students and everybody, Carl.
I'm trying to find.
It is what it is. Finally, we went to White the Pimp.
There's two cats. No, I'm the hustler anyway. There's two cats in high school.
This is the coldest fucking thing that's going on. He's the realest niggas out
Yeah,
there.
you already know.
Like, for real. Like, this.
God, I go off the mentality of the woman, and I know if I know my woman. Let's go. Welcome. This is the smartest dumb people, and I'm the host, Anthony That Dude Johnson. And always, it's gonna be smart at the table with me. Today we got Shay Michelle in the building. We got Burl T in the building. What's going on, Burl?
What up?
Man, listen, it's been a hell of a week, and it just started. I'm having car issues like a motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. I had an incident that happened to me Friday. My car ain't been working right since. I am fucking livid. How y'all week been? What's up with you, Shay? How your week been?
Oh my god, I want it to be over.
she in mommy mode all the time, so I couldn't
time.
imagine being a single mom.
I
really couldn't.
literally left my daughter's basketball game to come here.
Jesus.
Well,
Well,
and I go back. I gotta go back and pick her up.
You got sick
Go
time?
home and-
You got sick time? You could have called in.
What, here?
You could have called in. She got sick time.
Well, if I'd have known everybody else was having all these issues, I would have.
If I knew everybody was having all these issues, we could have took a day off.
You know what I'm saying? Next time we need to collaborate.
Oh, everything. Carl, he couldn't contact us. Carl, you ain't have a cell phone today. What the fuck is going on?
Man, they done raided the house.
Wow.
They raided my house. They raided my house because they said I was involved in the shooting. And I was like, I knew that wasn't true. You know what I mean? I had got jammed up before by the police about a year ago. And when I got pulled over, in the process, I handed my pistol and tell them, that I had got jammed up. So the officer that jammed me up act like he knew me. So when they seen that this was a shooting, he immediately went back to when he pulled me over, and then they raided the crib. So when they raided the house, they didn't raid the house because all they wanted to do, I think they just wanted my pistol. So I had to give them my pistol and my cell phone just to prove that I wasn't at the location that they said that I was at when the shooting took place. But they didn't even arrest me or nothing. I actually think it's just pure harassment, to be honest with you.
This is what I don't understand. How can they take your cell? First off, a person's cell phone is like literally their lifeline at this point.
They'll take your cell phone.
I don't know how they could just do that.
No, I asked them why did he need my cell phone if it was a shooting? You know what I mean? And he said that he just to verify my location, which you know what I'm saying. It's been very traumatic for me. I'm dealing with anxiety. I'm suffering. Y'all see where I'm going with that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because they definitely put me through the ringer, and it ain't even necessary. Once they realize that I'm not the alleged suspect, you know what I mean, should be able to get my pistol back in my phone.
I mean, definitely positive vibes. Definitely positive vibes sent your way. But this is exactly what we've been talking about for the last few weeks about, like, even with ICE, like with ICE, is if they are able to just come in your house, kind of like what the police did to you today. I just think it's ironic that we've been having this conversation and they literally did it to you today. And this ain't even ICE. This ain't the difference between the police and ICE is the police is gonna have the proper paperwork to make sure they're doing it the correct way. ICE don't need no fucking paperwork. They just coming in your house because they heard that you was in the shooting and snatching you up, beating you up in front of your wife and kids, taking your shit without any.
Correct.
Yeah, like there is a difference. So obviously the police are going about it the right way. Am I correct?
No, they ain't really going about it the right way because obviously I wasn't a suspect. It, for the officer to assume that was me, I don't. It wasn't like he had a car. It wasn't like he had a plate number. He was just going off that it was just a black guy that was probably heavy set, and he was just assuming that it was me. I don't know how he was assuming it
Why
was.
is the shooting so?
I don't even know what happened because I don't even know what shooting they're referring to. So I don't even know what, like, I don't know if it couldn't have been like, nobody got hurt too bad because they didn't try to even arrest me. They just wanted to come in the crib and I said, so I'm like, a judge signed off to this? They like, yeah, because like, they could have caught me anywhere. They could have caught me at
Did
work.
they show you the warrant?
Yeah, they showed me the warrant and the judge really did sign off on it. It was very, Howard kind of been in a little bit of stuff. So I kind of was like, I was talking to him calmly because I didn't know if it was really for my son. You know, me and Howard got the same last name. I mean, got the same name. He's just the fourth. I'm the third.
Hey,
So
I ain't gonna lie, cause you sound a little traumatized.
Yeah.
And
no, I am traumatized because, like you said, they could just come and say you did anything, and it wasn't ICE. But even when the police was here at my house, I asked them. I'm like, I said, to be honest with y'all, I usually take up. Be honest with y'all, I usually take up for y'all. I usually be like, y'all got a difficult job, but now I'm on the other end of the stick where they falsely accusing me. I've never been falsely accused. I've been accused of shit I probably done, but I literally am falsely accused, and they took my pistol. And it's offensive. You know what I mean?
yeah.
In my phone.
Man, prayers to you, cuz that shit is sad in itself. But we keep having these conversations about how the police are handling things, and I just think it's ironic that it happened to you. It's no different than the neighbor knocking on my door. We all have demons fighting us every day. Demons that we're fighting every day, and this is just another stepping stone that we're going through. But yeah, I couldn't contact you all day, and I was like, "What the fuck? He don't not answer his phone ever." And you didn't answer your phone all day. I knew something was wrong, so that's when I reached out to your old lady and was like, "Where he at? What happened?" And she said, "He'll tell you." And then yeah,
And yeah, it was embarrassing. You know, they told the kids to come out the room. I literally thought it was something Howard did. I'm not even like joking. You know, I want to apologize to my son for even assuming because he been on the straight and narrow and he been doing this thing, and I just thought it was something he was doing. So, we had the conversation last week where we tell on our kids, and that was a joke. And I said I would, but I realized in them circumstances, I definitely would never do that. I would never get a police opportunity to come get my son. You know what I mean? Because just how they treated me, I just didn't like their condescending behavior,
yeah,
just
facts.
sarcastic attitude. It was ridiculous, man. And I'm sitting up here telling them, y'all know y'all wrong. I said I can't believe a judge signed off to this. I said I can't wait till
You
we handle
definitely need to get a lawyer. You definitely need to get a lawyer, and that is a lawsuit in itself. You can't just come snatch somebody up and take their shit and say that we think you was involved in something when your ass probably was at work. Like that's a lawsuit in itself, man. I'm telling you, man. We gotta, as black people, black and brown people, we gotta learn how to fight the system ourselves. I would not let that shit slide. They can hand me my gun back. They can hand me my pistol. I'm going to find a lawyer to
it.
find.
And I
But
think it's important that we definitely follow through with complaints if police is harassing, if they doing any of those type of things. I think it's very important that you follow through with that. I think as black people we don't do that enough. We don't complain about the law. I mean, we do it amongst each other and on social media, but we don't really go down and file complaints on the officers for the injustices that they do. I've been paying taxes shit all my life. Why am I getting harassed?
you know what's funny is until you was on that side of the spectrum, and this is just me, us having a real deep conversation. You was like, they've been doing it to us. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing it to
No, I
us.
thought it was acceptable. I did. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
but I'm
saying.
saying, but
Taking
I'm
a
saying
stance on
like we say they've been doing it to us, but we say that from a third eye view. You understand what I'm saying? But when it hits that close to home, they they doing it to us for real, for real. You understand? Like the saying they've been doing it to us. It hit different when they do it to you, because now they really been doing it to us. And I'm
correct.
and this could be a learning experience. This could be God's plan. This could be God's plan. You know, getting you that $50 million lawsuit that we need to make the smartest dumb people what we want to make the smartest dumb people. Who knows? I don't. We gonna keep positive vibes and like I said, prayers to you, cuz that shit is not that's not acceptable. Matter of fact, I think it's only right to segue into our first topic. When I was telling y'all, this is pissing me off. When I was telling y'all that ISIS, if we allow them to kill the white nurse in the middle of the street, a la what just happened to Carl, but there's an actual pastor that was preaching, and ICE came in the church with tear gas, stun bombs, and basically snatched her up, and she's been in America for 30 years. Let's watch the clip. We'll be right back with y'all.
Black church during Sunday service and deported a choir member who had lived in the U.S. for 30 years. The agency defended the raid and deportation. Watch the judge's reaction.
Your Honor, we received intelligence that an individual with an outstanding deportation order was attending services at this location. We executed the warrant during church hours. The defendant entered illegally in 1994 and had a removal order from 2002. We apprehended her at the church and completed deportation within 48 hours. We followed proper procedures.
Your Honor, I came to this country 30 years ago from Jamaica. I've been singing in my church choir for 25 years. Last Sunday, armed agents stormed into our church during worship. They grabbed me in front of the entire congregation and dragged me out. I have 4 grown children who are American citizens. They deported me in 2 days. I've been here 30 years. They raided God's house and took me away. What country does this?
Raided a church during Sunday service and deported a woman who's been here 30 years. She has 4 American children and 7 grandchildren who stormed a place of worship and arrested her in front of children during a religious service, ordering her immediate return and granting asylum, and I'm reporting this raid to the Department of Justice for civil rights violations.
Raided a black church.
All right, that might have been your answer right there. Civil rights. They invaded your civil rights. We'll see. But that clip, that's what I was trying to explain to y'all. It's getting worse. Now, what are we going to do about this pastor that was snatched up, which the judge already handled that. But that's where it starts. It starts with us. The judge doing what he did, put ICE in a situation where, all right, maybe we don't want to do that shit. But I'm saying that if we just sit back and watch people, I hate to keep harping on this because we've been harping on this for 3 straight episodes now. But if we are watching shit unfold, if they could do it to them, they definitely gonna do it to us. That's all I was ever saying, is if we are not outraged about him.
It's smart with the officers, but when they came to my house this morning, I ain't gonna lie, I was so irate, and I knew I wasn't. I knew I didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? I was more, like I told you, I was more concerned with whether it was my son or not, and I asked him 10 times and to make sure, is it me you talking about? Yeah. Is it me you talking about? Yeah. Okay. Well, if it's me, cool. I know it ain't. I know I ain't do nothing. You know what I mean? So I was cool. You know what I mean? After I realized it wasn't Howard and Howard ain't done nothing. So, you know, but even if Howard have to go through something like that, you know what I mean? It's not.
So Shay, I gotta ask you, what do you think about the clip we just watched?
I definitely think we're on the brink of. It's going to definitely be a civil rights war sooner than later because there's so many violations. I was actually watching a lecture in my human rights class just this past weekend, and the professor is, like a middle-aged. What's going on is, make no mistake about it, it's domestic terrorism.
I'm not really into the government like that, but I will say this: as far as in the civil rights movement, I think we're gonna have to storm the Capitol respectfully. I mean, I'm trying to say that as lightly as possible, but I'm saying like there's millions of people, billions of people, and the government is ran by about what 40 motherfuckers. Something got to shake. Trump is not the answer, and this is not me putting it. I'm not saying no weird shit. I'm just saying it's too many people to allow one orange motherfucker to be making decisions. You know what's crazy is I thought about this today, mid like nap. I said to myself, I think it's crazy how Trump went from violating women's human rights with the telling them if they can have an abortion or not. Then they moved over to now we're at the part where we're headed towards racism for real, almost like the Nazis.
It's the
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a civil rights movement on there. There's one brewing. It's civil rights for everyone, for women, for people of color, for minorities, for immigrants. Like, it's on the brink.
I agree. So I don't want to stick on this topic too long. I want to get to the meat and bones of the show today. Bad Bunny's Super Bowl performance. I want somebody to break it down for us so we can break it down. The Super Bowl performance to me was when he came out, I was like, this is cool. And then I was like, okay, he's singing in Spanish. That's cool, but where are the subtitles? When I seen the subtitles was in Spanish, I ain't gonna lie, I got a little American then. I turned into an American when I seen the subtitles was in Spanish. But let's watch the clip of what this lady basically that's from Puerto Rico breaks down exactly what he was saying in his message, kind of like what Kendrick Lamar did. Let's watch the clip. We'll be right back.
Specifically about the political references in this halftime show that really got me. So starting off, we're in the sugarcane fields of Puerto Rico, just diving right into the historical context of colonialism in the Caribbean, the history of slavery in the Caribbean, the exploitation of our land and our natural resources for the economic gain of the empire. Now we're in New York City, Nueva York. And then Benito just waltzes up to go take a shot with who? Toñita. Who's Toñita? This is a real Puerto Rican woman who lives in Brooklyn and owns something called the Caribbean Social Club, which is one of the last standing Puerto Rican establishments in Williamsburg, which has been a hugely gentrified neighborhood of New York City, which was always traditionally Puerto Rican. She herself has almost been kicked out many times, but refuses to sell. She's an icon of fighting gentrification in Nueva York. The part of the show that hit us Boricuas the hardest, Ricky Martin. Quieren quitarme el río y también la playa, quieren el barrio mío. De que abuelita se vaya, no suelte la bandera, ni olvide el Enolai, que no quiero que hagan contigo lo que le pasó a Hawaii. Ricky Martin from Puerto Rico just sang a Bad Bunny song saying, I don't want to happen to us what happened to Hawaii. A blatant call for independence and sovereignty and decolonization of Puerto Rico. And then we go straight into this. Actually simulated the problems with our power grid in Puerto Rico, which is a direct consequence of us being a colony, and the privatization of our power grid by the USA. Then Bad Bunny emerges from the fields carrying the Puerto Rican flag, but not just any Puerto Rican flag. This is the light blue Puerto Rican flag, which is the original colors. And this is the flag that they banned. And then we were only allowed to get our flag back when they changed it from light blue to that navy royal blue to match the blue in the American flag. But by waving this flag, this is our original flag, again referencing our own sovereignty. A mi puebla, mi patria, Puerto Rico. Seguimos aquí. And ending it with Seguimos aquí, which means we're still here. Even though you're trying to colonize us and gentrify us out of our own island, Seguimos aquí. Specifically about the political.
All right, so that's the actual clip. Carl, you was excited to talk about this, so I'll let you go first.
I
What do you think about?
honestly, I didn't see the breakdown like that. You know, I think that's pretty dope. One, and it did put me in the mind frame of Kendrick's performance. But what's next? You know what I mean? Who's going to perform next after this? I thought it was crazy. I thought, you know, of course, I think Bad Bunny's goofy. You know what I mean? I ain't like his outfit, the shoulder pads. I mean, as far as fashion wise, but as far as the message, it was super dope. The fashion though, dude looked crazy with the shoulder pads and the football, and it it, it, it was a good message. Good message, dude. Good. I didn't like the shoulder pads.
What do you think about it? What do you think about the Super Bowl performance? Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it. I've been swamped with homework, but I am glad that people are using their platforms to send a message, because I feel like a lot of the times, like, complaints about, like, oppression have been ignored by white people, and so it's nice to see someone else of a different culture showing how they're also oppressed. So it's like you can't keep ignoring all of these complaints of oppression. Like, you can't keep saying that that's not a real thing, because clearly it is.
Well, I'm glad you said that. That was spot on. And I want to not segue, but I want to have this conversation. You said it exactly right. They can't ignore it. But this is what a lot of we're not going to use the term white. We're going to use Trump support.
No, we're going to use the term white, because not every white person who believes that oppression is over talked about and not real is a Trump supporter.
I was saying, like, how they're so privileged to where they'll just turn away and act like they didn't see anything. Mm-hmm. So they had a whole nother Super Bowl. I've never seen this in the history of Super Bowls. They had an alternative Super Bowl option for you to watch on another channel, which has never been done before in the history of Super Bowl. They wouldn't do that to Janet Jackson. They wouldn't do that to Justin Timberlake. They did this specifically because of what ICE got going on. The message was powerful. Everybody should have been tuned in as a family. When I say America should have been, that was the perfect time for America to become a family and sit down at a TV and watch the same shit and understand the same artistry in that. Because even though it was in Spanish, as a person that loves art, I love art in all facets. That was art. And all you had to do was watch what was happening around them. You didn't even have to.
Hey.
Go ahead, cuz.
It was the same way.
Hey. No, that was dope until they started hanging from that pole, and then I got a little concerned. They got started from the wood. What's going on? Oh my God! I was okay.
No, let me play the clip of. There was a bar that was playing the Super Bowl, but during the Super Bowl halftime show, they turned it to the Kid Rock special. Let's watch the clip. We'll be right back. I want to talk about this too, because, like you said,
do you got the footage of the Kid Rock special where he's performing?
No,
I didn't even see that.
I haven't seen a lick of it, but it's intentional. I don't want to give it no type of recognition, but I want to talk about how, like you said, when we're dealing with oppression and messages they're just turning the channel. Mm-hmm. Let's watch the clip. We'll be right back.
Halftime show. The whole experience. Why aren't you playing Bad Bunny at the halftime show?
Because I put this halftime show on. Because this is what the majority. If you're filming me,
I'm filming you. Why are you doing that? Why didn't you play Bad Bunny?
Because the majority.
I'm gonna pay.
Get out.
I'm gonna pay first.
Luke, this is why.
I gotta pay
first.
This is
why I said no.
I gotta pay first. But I'm asking a question. I'm not being violent. I gotta pay first. I shouldn't pay because I came here for the full experience.
What's your tab under?
The fullest Super Bowl experience.
Okay, what's your tab under?
All right. I came here for the full Super Bowl experience. Are you the bouncer? Are you the manager? Are you the bouncer, the manager?
He's the manager.
All right, I'm speaking to him, not you. You do what you do, and I talk to him. I came here for the Super Bowl experience. The full Super Bowl experience.
This is the halftime show.
This is not the halftime show.
It is the halftime show.
No, this is not.
It's called the halftime show.
We're at the zoo, and the zoo refuses to play Bad Bunny for some reason during the halftime show. They want to play somebody else. All right?
All right, so that's the actual clip, and I'll be the first to say, during that clip, it was cringe for me, because what I noticed in white culture is you can't attack nobody white, period. Not in public. They're gonna come out the woodworks like fucking ants. They fucking transformed into fucking a Decepticon or some shit. I don't know, but it's anytime you confront it should have been a mano thing. It should have been a man to man, eye to eye. You the owner of this company. Why are you playing this? He had motherfuckers swarming around him. Why are you here? We'll pay the tab. Get out of here. We don't belong here. Like, I just hate the way society is set up. Like, I really do. Like, he literally went to go ask this man a question, and the question turned to him being a violent person. Because that's what they were acting like. He wanted to square up. He was asking him a normal human being question. Why would we turn it from the Super Bowl to watch this alternate halftime show when we know Bad Bunny is about to come on and it's going to be interesting? Obviously, it was controversial before it even fucking came. Everybody wanted to see that, besides the ones that didn't want to deal with the oppression, the ones that didn't want to deal with what's happening in society. You know why? Because they're going to go get in their BMWs and their nice cars and their good credit scores and just go about their life. And I'm not attacking no race or anything like that. I'm just saying it's obvious. Like, the first time in history, we have a Mexican man. Was he Mexican? He's Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican man performing in Spanish, and they decided to give an alternate option. I've never seen anything like that. They should have had to sit through that shit and suffer like I did through the Spanish words, because let me tell you something about Spanish. That shit is like, it automatically gives me a migraine because I don't know the language. And it has nothing to do with race. Them motherfuckers could have been white and singing that shit and it would have gave me a headache. But I like the message behind, like I said, the visual alone for me was enough. I understood everything that they was doing. They got married, they went to clubs, they went to see the lady that had a bodega or some shit like that there. It was very powerful. So why would anybody not want to watch that?
Because if it ain't white, it ain't right.
And what's interesting is the guy was.
They're not sitting through Bad Bunny this year. They like, it's too much color going on. Because they did the same shit with, not as far as like the alternative option, but they did the same shit with Kendrick Lamar last year, where they act like they couldn't understand what he was saying. They didn't understand the lingo. They don't know what the message is. They did the same shit. They tore him to smithereens. Like, that's just what they.
The difference between Kendrick Lamar and the current one is that they didn't have an alternative option. I think what happened with Kendrick Lamar, that's why they made it an alternative this year for the halftime show.
No, so I'm gonna be honest with you. If they would have did it for Kendrick Lamar, it would have been blatant racism.
No, they wasn't prepared. They wasn't prepared. One, they didn't know Kendrick Lamar was going to do that message like that. They wasn't aware of that. So when Bad Bunny did the message, they like, oh no, we're gonna have an option, so we don't have to listen to that. Whatever they don't want to listen to.
But again, this is why we are the smartest dumb people, and I'm telling you the honest to God truth. All I ever want to talk about from my point of view is how we're so divided. Like, nobody wants to fucking stand up for another person. Everybody is in self-preservation mode.
But that's not true, because white people will stand up for white people. This is the difference, in my opinion. Yeah. The consequences for not minding your business vary so much. If a white person jumps in somebody else's business, the chances of them making it home is a lot higher than if we were to jump into somebody else's business. Like, there's shootings, there's police brutality, there's a lot of reasons why we stay to ourselves, because we got to get home. They're going to go home anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, the consequences are different. That might be our last hoorah if we jump in somebody else's business.
Well, from a young age, as a black man, I can speak for myself. At a young age, we was always taught to mind your business. Yeah.
I pay attention to these folk and nothing more. Meaning my four walls and what goes on inside of my home and nothing else.
And I don't... Again, I was just more disgusted at how fast he got swarmed by multiple people while asking a question that was actually a regular ass question. Like, why ain't we watching the Super Bowl? How did it turn into they almost turned him into a fucking villain?
Well, they seen their boss. He was getting aggressive. He's about to get aggressive until he realized that the guy was recording him, and he realized it was gonna make him look bad that he wasn't watching the regular Super Bowl halftime show. You know, I mean, I think he was trying to make a statement like, this is my business. I'm going to watch what I want to watch. But when you document that, then you put it out there for everybody to see, it looks crazy and it looked different. You know what I mean? It looked like he was being intentional on not wanting to see Bad Bunny perform. Am I a fan of Bad Bunny? Absolutely not. But did I want to see it? Absolutely, I did. You know, I didn't even know he was going to even go that deep. I didn't. I had no clue, but I still was curious to the performance, because usually Super Bowl halftimes is epic, and we all sit down and watch them. We don't turn to another thing. I mean, the last time that happened, I think it was like Living Color. Living Color had some. Living Color had a. This is why the halftime show start becoming fire is because Living Color at one point, like in the '90s, they did a show at halftime of one of the Super Bowls, and everybody turned from the Super Bowl to Living Color and watched it. And this is why they start coming up with these creative ways to have artists perform at these Super Bowls. So to do that with Bad Bunny, it was disrespectful. You know what I mean? To me,
I agree.
I'm not a fan of Bad Bunny at all.
Yeah, I didn't understand what the whole outrage was about him performing. Now, I didn't watch it like to boycott the Super Bowl. I normally watch the Super Bowl for the halftime performance and for the commercials. This week was just all week for me. So it wasn't like I was boycotting it. But when I was seeing the lead up to it, I'm like, why is everybody so against him performing? But I seen a lot of outrage for it.
Apparently, they knew he was going to do that, what he did. And it's the same thing Kendrick did. You know what I mean? I think Kendrick's was way cooler because, of course, it's my culture. But I think Bad Bunny's message was very similar.
Yeah,
very. Spanish people definitely understood it.
Yeah,
way more than we ever.
That's going on with the Hispanic community. Like, they definitely don't want to see a Hispanic person on the Super Bowl halftime show. Like, that's not the climate we're in right now. Everybody's supposed to be hating Hispanics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I thought it was beautiful. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I did turn a little American when I see them motherfucking Spanish words, plus him speaking Spanish. I just didn't understand. I felt like I was in Puerto Rico. Let's get to the next topic. But this is kind of tailored to, so everybody be like, why are you so emotional lately? Me and Carl had a conversation, and I was just telling him, like, I'm watching the world go to shit right in my face. Mm-hmm. Like, we all are. Mm-hmm. And depending on what type of person you are, me, I'm just like, why can't we all just wake up and just be better people? Right?
I don't get it either. Yeah. I swear I don't. I'll be like, what is so hard about loving your neighbor? People swear they're religious and swear they're Christians, and then they have so much hatred. Like, love thy neighbor is literally a commandment.
Well, I was using that to segue into Finesse 2 Times, his emotional outbursts. I think he's going to be like our mascot at this fucking point with little topics when it comes to mental health. Anyway, he was crying. And when he was crying, he was just talking about how, like, motherfuckers fucked the game up. And he spoke on Lil Baby specifically. He said, Lil Baby, he said, you out here paying for bitches $50,000 jets. When he was like, I used to come from a family to where my dad didn't even have $10,000. He said, I got $15 million. I should be able to take care of my family. It ain't enough. Now I got to be $100 million nigga making $15 million. I thought I did enough. And that ain't enough to take care of a family. Let's watch the clip. It's an emotional clip, so y'all gotta let it unfold. But I love to see it because this shit need to be televised. That's all I'm gonna say. He is not breaking down. He is not mentally unstable. Sometimes a motherfucker just had enough. And he's saying that in the industry, it's a lot of fake people. And he's like, I've been around killers, and I'm watching these motherfuckers pay people to go kill people, do a lot of weird shit, and ain't none of them doing no real shit, which is just being a real man. I like Finesse 2 Times. I ain't gonna lie. His little emotional outburst is putting me in a whole different state of mind. Let's watch the clip.
To make me believe it, you have to put it right. I'm dealing with motherfuckers who they daddy worth $300-something million, bro. My mama and dad ain't never been worth $10,000. I died for them. You telling me I did all this? Rob, kill, stole, deceived, fought, died, lied, just to be right. You got me fucked up. I ain't praising. Shit. I did all my life in prison. I'm not you greedy. You nigga, do it for yourself. You want all the money. You greedy motherfucker. greedy motherfucker. You greedy motherfucker. You greedy motherfucker. You greedy motherfucker. Little baby. All you niggas who seek money. I never seek the money. I just wanted for me and my family to be comfortable. You they made it about the money. Now, in order to be comfortable, I have to chase a bigger goal. Now, I have to become 100 millionaire to be able to make my family comfortable. When it used to be, you ain't had to have number 5 or 10, 15 million. If that, to be comfortable. Now you just up the mother and because you want to put on $50,000 jet flight, $30,000 a night Airbnbs. You don't like you. I despise you.
I ain't gonna lie, it's very hard to watch him in that drunken.
He definitely need rehab.
And that's why you can't take it seriously, is because he's doing it while he's impaired, and like he got an addiction problem. I mean, it's more funny than serious.
No, I learned that alcohol can become a coping mechanism.
That's more than alcohol.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's a lot of shit.
He got some substance abuse.
Alcohol can become a coping mechanism. I'm a prime example of that. I'll be the first to admit I went through a fucking horrible breakup, and alcohol almost took my fucking life from just being so sad and depressed. So I get that. So we got to pray for that brother, but his message was also powerful in itself. We are living in a time to where a motherfucker that's worth $15 million is on camera crying about how he ain't got enough money. Like they say, too much money ain't enough money, but I do feel like if you get the millions, you should be good for the rest of your life.
If you got 15 million and you telling me that's not enough, something wrong with you, dog. You got a drug problem.
I ain't gonna hold you, because why are you bringing up what other people is doing with their money
I think
and
that
how much they?
Because what he's doing, he's right. They're setting a standard that's not real.
He don't have to live by that.
He don't have to, and he don't have to chase no girls that baby mess with.
You live by your standards, and if you trying to compare what you got going on to what somebody else got going on, that's pocket watching.
No, he's just in a bad situation right now, so he's making it seem he's crying out. Obviously,
he's not in a bad situation though. Finesse 2 times.
No, he is in a bad situation. His old lady's in jail. This is what's making him sad. His old lady's in jail. He can't get her out. He's in a bad situation. He don't know what to do. His label, which is J Prince Mob Tides, they having issues with this contract. He can't just put music out. He can't get rappers to feature with him without having to pay him. He's in a bad situation because it really, in rap, what happens is it take money to make money, and when you get signed, you get a lump sum of money. Now, if you irresponsible with that money and you don't do what you're supposed to do, and now you will be like Finesse, crying out like you getting beat because people don't know the game. Finesse just fucked off the bread. He fucked off the money, and he probably in a bad situation. You gotta pay for lawyers. You gotta pay for his old lady to get out, and it don't look good for her, I don't think, because she in the feds, and she was already on house arrest. He in a bad situation. He's sad about it now, and now he's crying about it. Like it's serious because obviously there's some mental issues going on with dude, but he also has a drug addiction that he needs to deal with first, and stop getting on camera if you want us to take you seriously. And obviously impaired. So we can't take you seriously because you're going on camera and you impaired.
I want to shot it right now. I ain't even hold
So
it.
you remember last week we were talking about why Black people can't come together and make money together, and I was like, a lot of it is because we're not educated on how to make money. That's a prime example. Like, you touched the bag, you've had the bag in your hands, and outside of the music, you didn't know how to make your money multiply. So now that the music has come to a halt, you on camera crying, but really you could have invested your money in so many other options and still been able to make money. You could have been in real estate. You could have opened businesses. There's a bunch of things that you could have done to multiply that money, but we just don't have the education. and the guidance to do that. If once the well runs dry, we fall off all the way off. Not all of us, but there's a whole education behind finances that is lacking a lot.
That's a fact. I mean, I can't say nothing really. You guys are spot on, but it's only right when we talk about money and we talk about doing the right thing with your money. Terrence Crawford was on the Pivot podcast, which I ain't gonna lie. After seeing this clip, I already started to like Terrence Crawford a lot, but his humble ways made me like him even more. Let's watch the clip. We'll talk about it. He was talking about, would you sell your soul for $100 million, they said, or something. Let's watch the clip. We'll be right back with you.
Everything has a price. There is not a number that can get you back in that ring. 80 million, 100 million.
Nah, because now you selling your soul.
$100 million, you can have my soul.
That's you. Now we know your character. Sometimes, you look at people and you be like, dang, man, you ain't got no dignity. You ain't got no morals. Like, come on, man. Like, what you gonna stand for if everything is about money?
Like, my thought is everything has a price. There is not a number that can get you back in that ring. 80 million, 100 million.
Nah, because now you selling your soul.
$100 million, you can have my soul.
That's you. Now we know your character. Sometimes, you look at people and you be like, dang, man, you ain't got no dignity. You ain't got no morals. Like, come on, man. Like, what you...
I mean, humbly, I really like Terrence Crawford. And I think it's because his attitude, the way he is because he came from Omaha. I think that he has a lot of Omaha in him, and it's on display now. He's rich. He's respected in the celebrity community. I think that Omaha raised him. Like on that clip, he just reminded me of somebody that would be sitting right next to me, a cousin, a friend. That was some Nebraska shit right there.
Hey, for real, like you said, he represents Omaha well. And on top of it, the dude was just joking, but he turned it so serious. The dude looked goofy. Channing, he played for Miami. He was a linebacker for Miami Dolphins. That's who he is. But he looked so crazy. He was just playing, but Terrence was so serious about it. He just looked at nuts. You know what I mean? Like, and I like that he said that. Your character's in question, dog.
What do you think of
integrity, man?
I feel like, what's his name? Chowder? What's his name? Crowder. Well, I feel like he set himself up to look goofy, though, because Terrence had said from the very beginning that it was never the money that motivated him. It was being a champion. And then he hit Terrence from a make more money angle. Like, he's already said that he's not interested in that. I do feel like you weren't even listening to what he was saying. It was never the money that made him go after his career.
Yeah, he had goals that he wanted to accomplish.
He wanted to be a champion.
I think
different.
And I don't think he's playing. I don't think no amount of money will ever get him back in the ring. I think Crawford is very
Nah. I think he will eventually fight again. I do.
You think so?
He too young. It's easy for him. He will fight again.
I think Crawford's good. From his accolades and the money he's made, I think he's good, man. And knowing a lot of his family members, I think he's good. I think he want to enjoy just being.
And he has like houses and stuff. He's invested his money in other places.
Yeah, I think he just want to humbly just live his life now. All that having to
exercise. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If I could retire at, what is he, 38? Terrence, like 38, 39 or something. I could retire at 38, 39 and just be a full-time parent and not have to worry about money. And like he said, just be on the couch like, I want to go to Thailand. Let's go to Thailand. I would do that in a heartbeat. And I would be completely okay with that.
I think when you've been a star your whole life, I think eventually all that shit get boring because nothing is gonna be like those lights, cameras, and action. Ain't nothing gonna be like that. And I think that eventually he gonna get hungry and he gonna want to do it. We see fighters do it all the time. We seen Tyson do it. We see Mayweather. They still coming back to fight. It's something that you love to do. Terrence, like he said, I heard him in another interview. He said he been doing it for years. He tired, his body tired. But once he get tired of being tired,
it's a wrap.
He gonna be ready. He gonna be ready to go. He gonna be ready to go. Go get in shape. Get motivated.
I want to get Shay's topic in because I thought it was kind of deep. Let's get this topic in. This will be our last topic for the night. A guy basically said, like, on your journey, sometimes you need to do it alone. You shouldn't always hop in relationships. You shouldn't always be looking for love because love will find you. Let's watch the clip. We'll be right back with y'all.
Why you shouldn't seriously date while you're getting your life together. I'm at the beach right now. I'm from Clearwater, Florida, so I grew up by the beach. This is very common to me. But as I'm stepping on the sand, there's a little girl. It's her first time at the beach. And she just hit the sand. And she's excited. She's telling her parents, I found a shell, mommy. I found a shell. And she has no clue how many shells are near the shoreline, because it's her first time just even touching the sand. So she finds a small shell and she's excited about that. You do the same thing when you're stepping into new phases of life. You're reaching levels that you've never reached before. You're metaphorically touching sand that you've never touched before when you're transforming into new levels and new versions of yourself. And so similar to that little girl, you touch the first bit of sand. And metaphorically speaking, you'll find a shell, that being a person in this metaphor. And you're so excited because you ain't never found a person like this before. Not realizing the trajectory of where you're headed is towards so much abundance that's even greater and more on frequency than what you even just ran across. And so it's important that you don't seriously date while you're transforming into new levels of yourself, because you could be en route to a different frequency, higher version of yourself, higher level of life. And you could pick up somebody on the way that's in harmony with the version of yourself that's at a lower level in trajectory, en route to where you're going, versus in alignment to where your destiny is. So be open to what God has for you, but focus on your purpose, focus on your direction, focus on where you're going is the main thing. Why
You got your chakra rocks with you? Because we gonna need this. We gonna need the tea for this one. But
That's so funny.
it's only right you give your opinion first.
I feel like I don't disagree with anything that he said. As somebody who was like in the transition, I feel like a lot of the times, like he said, you run across these shells and the shells seem bright and shiny and new, and then once you get to really like examine the shell, it's not that. It's very lackluster.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like as you're transitioning, even if you put dating aside, I think sometimes those shells that you do run across are maybe in alignment with where you're going as well, because maybe they're on their journey too. But I feel like maybe that's where you should build a platonic relationship and actually get to know this person, because we put so much emphasis on dating that I feel like as soon as you meet not everyone, but as soon as you meet somebody and you build some type of relationship with them, it goes straight into like this little flirty type of nature. And a lot of people forget that you can literally just be friends with somebody. Mm-hmm. And that person may drop off. That person may go with you. Maybe something will develop later. But you can literally, like, just be friends. So that's been my thing. Like, we could be cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm not dating. I'm not dating anybody. I'm not sexually active. Like, that's not where I'm at right now, because I don't want to get distracted and end up where I'm going, or stop my journey because I done got tied up with this person who ain't ready to go yet.
Man, that's you spot on. And motherfuckers be like I said, I went through a horrible breakup. Yeah. Now I'm in a phase of my life to where I'm like, I need to focus on what the fuck I got going on. Mm-hmm. From work to bettering my credit, mm-hmm. to doing things that ain't got nothing to do with dating. Mm-hmm. I'm not worried about dating. I'm worried about fixing my fucking life. I wish I had Ayana to fix my fucking life. Shit I've been going through over here. I need a motherfucking black man. You are strong. I ain't gonna lie, because Ayana need to fix my life, because I'm over here down bad. Everything that could go wrong, Murphy's Law, no pun intended, Carl, has went wrong for obviously me and you both, and you and Murphy. What do you think, cuz?
No, I think that was one of the dopest way to explain how life go. I think you should definitely take your time when dating. I mean, I think at a point in my time in my life, I never really wanted to take relationships seriously because I wanted to be focused on what, like I said, I was selfish. I'm selfish on my life. This is my life. My life is to see how far I can get. You know what I mean? Like, I'm learning now that it's not just really about me, but I definitely, if I could go back in time, I would definitely take my time on dating and who I date, and I would be definitely a little bit more picky, and I would focus on me and where I need to go in the future, because sometimes, like he said, you could get with someone that keep you at a certain level, and it ain't cool. You know what I mean? And just because you think you love a motherfucker, don't mean you love them. I mean, don't mean they right for you. You understand what I'm saying? So.
That's a fact. And sometimes it ain't even love. It's that lust. That lust be real strong. And you start confusing those feelings.
Correct. And that's why lust is a sin.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely gonna
Hey
cause
guys.
judgment.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
We listening.
Yes, my bad.
Time to say goodbye to all my Negro friends and Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans. Shout out to Bad Buddy. Look,
Puerto Ricans, you cold blooded.
Before we get up out of here.
What'd you say?
You got something to say before we get up out of here?
Nah, man, shout out to the officers that came to the crib this morning. You know what I mean? Hopefully they watching. I told them to tap in. Hopefully they watching. We'll see each other soon again.
Shay, you got something to say before we get up out of here?
Drink your water, mind your business.
I am 100% with Shay. I'm going to drink my water, mind my business, pop my Addy, have a good night. This is the Smartest Dumb People. Anthony That Dude Johnson, Shay Michelle, thank you for coming through, Queen. Brawl T, y'all have a great night.
Yo, at the hottest podcast in the city, the Smartest Dumb People. I'm here with my nigga, That Dude Johnson. You know what I'm saying? We go way back like 4 flats on the Cadillac. Y'all tune in every week or every time. Hit the like button, subscribe, do what you're supposed to do. Like, comment, share, tell your people about it. Y'all know what it is. It's the Smartest Dumb People.